day. Today we're going to be speaking on secure shell, SSH, to be precise. Today my name is Oyadi Okwe, and thank you for listening. Part of our conversation today is going to be around secure shell and some of the history and development over time and the admin recommendation for Linux. And this also can also be applied to Windows as well. So it's like we killed two birds with one stone. Alrighty. So these are some of the basic facts with SSH. It is a network protocol for cryptographic. SSH operate on default port 22. The primary goal is to monitor and safeguard network servers and devices on a secure network. It also serves as an alternative for insecure telnet protocol that runs on port 23, popularly known as telnet. Here we're going to be going about through some of the brief history of secure shell and its origin and how everything started. I think during the early 90s, thereabout, telnet was telnet and FTP were the dominant protocol that were used to send and transfer messages, and even sometimes when you have to log in into your website, you have to use FTP. But later they realized that this protocol, these protocols are very vulnerable because of the large amount of security infraction that were happening during that time. So going further, SSH was developed in the mid 90s. Where was I during mid 90s? I can't remember. I mean, I can remember, but it was developed during the mid 90s as a response to the security shortcoming for Telnet and FTP. I think the person that developed SSH and OpenSSH and SSH, his name is Tatu Yulwan, which kind of started or founded SSH Communication Security and released a communication version of SSH. I mean, which was pretty good. I mean, considering that time, I think a lot of people would have would probably be using Telnet right now. Imagine the catastrophic of security issue that we'll be facing. So SSH has a key authentication, and it was introduced to use a cryptographic key pair for authentication, which is really good. One person has a public key and the other person has a private key. So in order for you to be able to open a secure communication or communicate, there must have been a form of key pairs that took place for that communication to actually come into existence. And SSH protocol evolution. SSH became protocol has continued to evolve over the years and address a lot of security issues and vulnerability. And outside of that, it was actually adopted by majority of IT professionals and administrators, and even up till now, we we are we it's been adopted and widely used to protect our infrastructures. Here it says it is widely used in system administration, software development, and other IT related tasks, which is which is amazing. A variant and implementation. Like we know, SSH has actually, because of its popularity, there has been a lot of different version of it. One of it is OpenSSH, and which has a various implementation and variants of SSH as a merge as well. So here we're going to be talking about some of the recommendations for Linux. Mhm. Some of the recommendation for Linux is change SSH port, which uh, which is a default SSH for ports involving altering the port number using server configuration. This enhances security by making it harder for automated attacks to locate and exploit SSH server. Procedure for SSH keys can also be found here. SSH key-based authentication. The SSH key-based authentication is a secure method for user authentication. It uses cryptography, like I explained earlier, a private key on one client and corresponding key on the server. Eliminate passwords, which is pretty good because when you have a secure authentication, you know, there can be easy flow of communication, and those communication can also be trusted. Well, to some certain extent, if we don't think about the man in the middle attack. So, and this is how we can actually create a key pair by using SSH keygen. Implementing IP whitelisting and SSH configuration file. Implementing IP whitelisting and SSH restrict SSH access to specified IP address. This enhances security by allowing connection only from trusted source, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Edit the SSH server configuration, and by so doing we can actually implement SSH whitelisting. So here is some of my recommendations and my references. Thank you for listening.